Hey guys, welcome to another podcast on FootyPod. And today is quite a special one because we have some special guests. Would you like to introduce yourselves, guys?
Hello, I'm Truth.
Hello.
Um, well, their real names are Harry and Adam. They are friends from school and they're very knowledgeable in football, as you will find out later today. So, without any waste of time, let's move on to the first section of this podcast, which is the Premier League. Alex, what you got?
So earlier this week, or rather last week, there were some pretty interesting games involving West Ham drawing with Arsenal after going 3-0 up inside 20 minutes. How do you lose a 3-0 lead? Either way, there were two West Ham own goals from Solskjaer and Dawson. And Jesse Lingard was at the top of his game once again. Adam, what do you have to say about that?
Oh god, I watched that game. Terrible play from West Ham, honestly. Imagine supporting them.
We would like to apologize to the West Ham fans who watch our podcast, but well, I've got an opinion on it as well. Jesse Lingard, he's well and truly back, and well, Arsenal, well, they have been horrible at times this season, but they've also been very good, and they've got a lot of good players like Martin Odegaard and Alexandre Lacazette who step up in big games for them. Not so much can be said for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang in that last game. Daniel, what have you got to say about that?
Yeah, West Ham couldn't really afford to lose that game, especially as they went 3-0 up. With the push to the top four on for them, I think they had to win that game, especially as they were 3-0 up at one point. Yeah, I just think they had to win it, and that was a really bad result for them. Also, just looking at the Brighton-Newcastle game, Brighton won 3-0 against Newcastle. And I genuinely reckon Newcastle could go down. They're playing really badly at the moment, losing a lot of games, and Brighton are playing much better, so they probably won't get relegated. But I think there are some teams like Fulham that could stay up, and I'm thinking Newcastle need to pick up some form, or they'll go down. Alex?
Yeah, Fulham's gonna win.
Sorry for Harry Bolo sharing his knowledgeable opinions on football. I think it's time that we move on to the Ligue 1 section. PSG beating Lyon 4-2 with Mbappe bagging himself a brace. Now, PSG are now top of Ligue 1, going ahead of Lille, who are in second, Lyon in third, and Monaco in fourth.
Let's talk about the game itself then. So PSG, well, they won 4-2, of course, as Alex said. And Kylian Mbappe bagged the brace, and Angel Di Maria and Danilo Pereira also got on the score sheet. So, now PSG are top of the league. So was this an expectation from the start since Pochettino joined for PSG, because they've got such a good squad and Pochettino is such a good manager as well. Go on, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, if you have Neymar and Mbappe in your front three or four, or maybe even two, then you're going to win the league. It doesn't... Look, Ligue 1 is called a Farmers League, but even if you were in the Premier League, you would still win it with Mbappe and Neymar up top. If you had a solid defence, which PSG do, you would still win any league in the world. And that's a given. So yeah, I think we definitely expected this as soon as Mauricio Pochettino took charge. Thomas Tuchel had quite a shaky start to the season, and Pochettino's turned it around quite nicely. Okay, I think it's a good time now to move on to our Bundesliga section. And Daniel, what do you have to say about the Bundesliga this week?
So I watched the Bayern Stuttgart game, and I think I came in about 15 minutes in, and I saw Bayern had a red card. I was like, this could be a good game, you know. Stuttgart, they're not a terrible side, but, you know, they're not as good as Bayern. With the red card, I really thought Stuttgart could actually get something from the game. I was completely wrong. Bayern went and smashed Stuttgart 4-0, with Lewandowski getting yet another hat-trick. I mean, he just scores so many goals. First half hat-trick. Leipzig also won, but they are dropping behind now. They're 4 points behind. And I think, like in Ligue 1, Bayern Munich are just going to go and dominate the league now. Like last week, the top four is still quite tight, although multiple teams have really fallen off. Leverkusen, they're in 6th now, 7 points behind Eintracht Frankfurt in 4th. Dortmund are actually playing well again, only 4 points behind the top four. But just quickly before somebody else takes over, I just want to point out Borussia Mönchengladbach. Early in the season, or not even that early, a while ago, they were doing really well. And now they've had 4 losses in a row and then just won in their last game. And now they're in 10th. They are 11 points behind top four when they were in 3rd or 4th before. And that's really bad. Like, they have really fallen off. Yeah, Adam, your professional opinion?
Yeah, my personal opinion. Yeah, Bayern definitely gonna win the league. Honestly, they got a solid lead. At least in my opinion, they got some pretty decent players. You know, they're winning a lot of games. You know, probably gonna win.
I think it's now time that we move on to our La Liga section. And Harry, what do you have to say about this week? Been quite a thrilling week for La Liga.
Yeah, I agree. It has. There have been some quite good games, including an absolute decimation by Barcelona. After they beat Real Sociedad 6-1 in Sociedad. That does not happen, especially away. With 2 goals from Lionel Messi and Serginho Dest, plus 1 from Griezmann and his French teammate Dembele. And there was also a very interesting game between Valladolid and Sevilla, in which Sevilla goalkeeper Yassine Bounou managed to score a 94th minute equaliser. Anyone have anything to say? Leon?
I mean, I'll go on to the Bono game later, but the Barcelona game, I just want to say absolutely brilliant from Barcelona. It's tough to beat Sociedad. They're such a good team, and especially at home, because Sociedad have a pretty good home record even without spectators. I feel like Barcelona clearly the better side, as it says by the scoreline. And also the Sevilla game rather. That's incredible. I mean, it's always good to see a goalkeeper scoring. It's a really good sight. And I feel like Valladolid have done really well to hold Sevilla to a draw, because even though Sevilla have been in a bit of average form lately, with they've only won 2 of their last 5 games, I still feel like Valladolid, they have done really well to hold a good team as well. And well, they even though Sevilla have got such a good defense, they still broke through. They defended really well throughout the game as well. Anyone else have anything to say? Alex?
Yeah. About the goalkeeper goal. I mean, that's just easy, isn't it? I've done that so many times before.
Well, that just shows you how good their opinion is in football and how smart they are football-wise. Now some real opinions. Alex?
Hey,
yeah.
what's that supposed to mean?
Yeah, I do think it's incredible. It's really rare to see a goalkeeper goal, and that's pretty impressive. I mean, it was a really good strike as well. You can probably see it now on the screen. It was really quite a good strike. Just outside 6-yard box, left foot absolutely burrowed it into the left-hand corner. A really good strike from him. I think it's time that we move on to our next section, which is the Serie A. And Vihan, this is your section. What's been happening this week?
To be honest, not much this week. Except for a pretty good result for Benevento, who amazingly beat Juventus at home. At Juventus's home, 1-0, and Juventus are now 10 points behind Inter Milan, who are the league leaders. And we also saw AC Milan win against Fiorentina just 3-2. Well, so what do you guys think about the title race? Because the title race in Serie A has been really, really good this season. It's been really tight at the top, and now AC Milan could actually catch up. They are 6 points behind Inter, who have a game in hand. But could AC Milan win the title and knock Inter off the top? Daniel?
I think something really bad would have to happen to Inter to get knocked off the top. Their recent form is just amazing. From what I can see, they've had 5 wins in their past 5 games. I'm trying to find how many wins in a row they've had, but they're just so good at the moment, and I just can't see them losing the table from this position. Juventus, though, just what is going on? They're meant to be easily the best team, and they're just 10 points behind. They're not even doing that badly. It's just Inter have been amazing. But Benevento, where are they? They're 16th. How have they beat Juventus? That's just shows a bit of confidence after going out the Champions League to Porto. Yeah, Harry?
I agree. I think that the title for Serie A is kind of out of reach. I think Inter Milan are definitely going to win the title. AC are not catching them, and there's no way Juventus are going to get anywhere near. Inter have a game in hand as well, which is probably a guaranteed 3 points. They've won so many of their last games, and they have not won a trophy in, I think it's 11 years now. So this will be very good for Antonio Conte. Is this his 3rd or 2nd season with Inter? It'll definitely boost the board's confidence in him. Adam?
Yes, Adam, go on.
Oh yeah, I basically agree with everyone. It's basically at the top you have Inter and just normal Milan, and it's basically between them. But Inter's probably going to win, in my opinion. Yeah, see, they've won a lot of games. They're at the top. Juventus, yeah, shocking performance. They really lost against Benevento, which is not a terrible team, but a pretty terrible team, you know.
We also saw a game, which was a pretty important game actually, and a pretty good game as well. It was Napoli against Roma, and Napoli beat Roma 2-0 away from home, with Dries Mertens getting a brace. So could now Napoli, they are 5th, 2 points behind 4th spot Atalanta. So could Napoli get top 4 this season? Anyone?
I think it's going to be close, but Atalanta are in good. Napoli, so they are in good form. But Atalanta are in good form as well. I think it'll be really close between those two. I don't think Roma will get top 4. Actually, Napoli do have a game in hand, so I think Napoli, if they win that, they'll definitely be in with a chance. But if they lose it, then I think it will be really, really close between those. Maybe 1 or 2 points in it, I think. Harry?
Yeah, I also think that it'll be Napoli. I also think that Roma won't get into the top 4, and I think it'll be Napoli that will get into the top 4 along with Juventus, Milan, and Inter, because they have the game in hand. They're in good form, and I'm not sure if Atalanta are quite capable of hanging on to it. Alex?
I think it's time now that we move on to our UCL section. There's not really much to talk about today. There haven't been any games, and we talked about our UCL and Europa League predictions on Friday, me and Harry. But now we have Adam, Harry Bowler, Bihan, and Daniel here. So I think we can ask for all of their professional opinions on each of the ties. Bihan, would you like to start with a couple of your predictions?
You can check out the video that we done before that Alex and Harry predicted their outcomes for the games. My predictions, I feel like there's a game, Man City Dortmund. I think Man City will win that quite easily. Even though Dortmund have Erling Haaland, they'll not win that. I'm gonna go for a 4-2 aggregate win for Man City. There's also another game, Bayern Munich versus PSG, the repeat of the Champions League final last season. It's gonna be a close game, but I feel like Bayern will just edge it. I'm gonna go for a 4-3 Bayern win on aggregate. So these are my predictions for 2 of the games. What about someone else? Daniel?
Yeah, I think I'd agree with most of your predictions. I think the Man City Dortmund game, Man City will come out on top, but I think it will be a very tight game just because it's the Champions League. Teams throw everything into that, especially quarterfinals. So I think despite Man City having such dominance in mostly like every game they play, pretty much apart from against Man United a few weeks ago, I just think that they will have too much quality for Dortmund, and in the end, I think they'll win. Chelsea or Porto Chelsea. Obviously, this is technically from a biased point of view, but I'm trying to be as kind of professional as I can. I would say Chelsea should win it with the form they're in, and it's against Porto. But I wouldn't rule Porto out. I'd say if they get their tactics right, Porto could beat Chelsea. But I think also the other way around, if Chelsea get their tactics right, they should have a fairly comfortable game against Porto. Bayern PSG, like Vihan said, it's going to be really tight, I think. And I'd say a 3-2 aggregate scoreline. Oh, for the Chelsea game, I'd say 3-1 aggregate scoreline to Chelsea. And Liverpool Real Madrid, I don't know. I think Real will just win it, maybe 2-1 or 1-0. I think that'll be a really tight game, and I think whoever can. I think there'll only be one goal in it. Adam, let's hear your amazing predictions for the games you probably don't even know.
About the Chelsea Porto game, Daniel is a Chelsea supporter, so he's obviously biased. But my non-biased opinion, I personally think Chelsea doesn't have a chance. Porto will smash Chelsea, go on to win the league, take the title for the first time in forever. So yeah, my prediction. Obviously going to come true.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're definitely right there.
Right. Well, I hope you enjoyed their predictions. But before we end the podcast, we are going to talk about a little FA Cup section, which we have added. So let's this week's games. Bournemouth won 3-0 against Southampton won 3-0 against Bournemouth. Man City beat Everton 2-0. Sheffield United lost to Chelsea 2-0, and Leicester City beat Manchester United 3-1. So, and the semi-final draws are out as well. It's going to be Leicester City versus Southampton and Chelsea versus Man City. So let's give our predictions for these games. What do you guys think?
I don't think Chelsea really stand a chance against a really informed Manchester City, and I think it's going to be an easy 3-1 win for Man City. About the Southampton versus Leicester game, I think Leicester will play well and probably win, but you never know, because if you look at the recent games, Southampton are really going for the FA Cup this season, and they've been putting out some really strong teams, whereas Leicester can't afford to put out such strong teams because they're fighting for third and fourth place in the league, maybe even second against Man United. Does anyone else have any other predictions? Either Harry?
Yeah, actually, I do.
Harry.
See,
Harry. you go first. You go first. I'll go next.
okay. See, the thing about the Leicester v Southampton, though, the problem is I just don't think your prediction is correct. I think it will be a 7-7 draw. I think it's going to be completely even.
Yeah, I'd say your prediction's fairly accurate. 7-7. Very common score in
Happens
football,
every day,
of
doesn't
course. Every single game that happens. Yeah, Harry Davis, do you have anything to add to that?
I'm just going to agree with Alex and say that I think it will be a win for Leicester City.
Boo!
I agree with Alex. I think it will be a 3-1 Leicester City win, like the Man United game, and I think they will probably face Man City in the final, who will get past Chelsea. I'd say 2-0 probably. It'll be a tight game, but Man City will edge it in the end.
Right. I think that's a place to end the podcast. We hope you enjoyed the podcast this week. Look out for other podcasts that we post daily on Mondays. And please drop a like and subscribe and press the bell icon and all that jazz. So goodbye. Thank you for
And
watching.
wait. Also, I'm pretty sure I've heard of this thing, this glitch going around causing people to randomly unsubscribe. So if you could check that you're just still subscribed, that would be great. Thanks.